Sri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Agajanana Padmarkam Gajananam Aharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahi. Welcome to all for this session on Sri Ganesha Purana for chapter 16. In the previous chapters, Brahma, who is entrusted with the responsibility to create the whole world, after seeing the creation after seeing the existing creation of several other brahmandas within the belly of Sri Ganesha, he is filled with pride as well the arrogance that he could able to create any kind of a world. And the moment when he is filled with arrogance, he is drowned into the ocean of confusion with so much of obstacles striking him. It's natural for anybody who is filled with arrogance to go ahead with a project with too much of pride, with no humbleness, naturally will face so many obstacles. And the same thing happened to Brahma, and knowing nothing regarding where to start the creation, Brahma started praising Ganesha, started calling for Ganesha, and that very moment he heard a voice from nowhere perform austerities. But Brahma doesn't know what to perform, on whom to perform, because he was not knowing any mantras, nothing, how to perform the austerities, what is a ritual. But still, went on dwelling upon the beautiful sight of Gajanana, whom he had seen before. The beauty of Gajanana. As he kept dwelling upon that beauty of Gajanana, he had a vision, and in that vision, he saw a large banyan tree and a banyan leaf on which Ganesha was sleeping like a small child. And then Ganesha get down from that banyan tree, came and sat on the lap of Brahma and mocked him, saying that, and also gave him the single syllable Ganesha mantra and explained him the ritual and told him to meditate upon it. And as Brahma started the tapas, at the end of the tapas, he saw a brilliant light and Ganesha in the mid of that particular light. And then Ganesha gave him the boon to create this whole world. Ability, the capability, the required knowledge, everything was bestowed on Brahma. On hearing this story from Bhigu, the king Somakanta, who was hearing to these stories, he said, after hearing this tale about Ganesha, my heart is filled with delight. Once again, recite an immortal tale, sage of the priests, as I have not had enough. After the illustrious Ganesha, who is the supreme, had disappeared, how did Brahma create the creation? Describe that, Lord. That means after getting the boon from Ganesha, from where the Brahma started doing the creation. Bhrigu explained him about that. First of all, Brahma created seven small sons from his mind, and he said to them, these are called as Brahma's Manasaputras, that he created them from his mind. To help him with the creation, you must create from your own minds, the people who can create. So he created such small children, but after hearing his command, they resolved to engage in austerities, and when they had performed a very great austerity, they attained the supreme Brahman. They were not interested in continuing the creation, they were not interested in the worldly activity of creation. They went in for austerities, and they themselves attained the level of supreme Brahma, merging with the supreme deity. Prajapati then created another seven sons, Manasaputras, but possessing an overabundance of wisdom, they too did not create the perfect creation. Having consideration for Sanaka and the rest, he himself began to create. That means the Brahma himself began to create, and from his own mouth, lotus born Brahma emitted the breeze and the fire. Brahma created them from his mouth, and from his arms, thighs, and feet came the other three classes, and from his heart came the moon. And here are some literally a sort of disputable thing that he created three different class of people from his arms, thighs, and feet. This is symbolic to say that he created the Kshatriyas from his arms, and Vaishyas from his thighs, and Shudras from his feet. And he created the priest class, that's the Brahmins, he created them from his face. And because of that reason, it's basically because as human beings, we give more importance to our face. We, with cosmetics, we decorate our face, not the other parts of the body. And the next importance we give it to the arms. The third importance we give it to something that is below our belt, below our, that's basically the thighs. And the least importance we give it to our foot. That's the mistake of we like human beings. Whereas every part of the body has its own important significance. Now, the significance of saying these words that Brahma created the priest from his face, it's basically because the class of priests called as Brahmins, they are supposed to be dwelling in the knowledge. They should be working through the knowledge. And with their knowledge, with gaining the knowledge, they spread this knowledge for the benefit of the society. The rest of the people in the society do not involve in gaining the knowledge. If everybody becomes scientist, the society cannot run. Only few will be scientists. Only few will be involving in gaining the knowledge and in using that, utilizing that knowledge for the sake of the society. Whereas the another class of people called as Kshatriyas, who are created through the Brahma's arm. So these are the people who protect the society. Not everybody will join military. Not everybody will become a policeman. Only a few will be there to protect the society. Like we protect our body with the help of our arm. So in the same fashion, these are the class of people who used to protect the society. And then there is a class of people called as Vaishyas. Vaishyas are the people who are entrepreneurs. Not everybody will become entrepreneur. Only a few people will start their own organization or they will involve in agricultural activity so that they will produce the things for the sake of society. It is not just about production, producing. They also involve in trade and commerce activity that will go into benefit the society in multiple ways. And then comes the last class in which large number of people will be involved. That's the Shudra class. Shudra class is involved in offering their service. Like all of us who work for some company and get our salary, we offer our services to the company, and for that we are going to be paid. So that whole class is considered as Shudras. And it is the class of Vaishyas who take care of these Shudras and who get the help from these Shudras, and they could able to run their businesses. And it is this class of Shudra, we say that they are created from the foot. That's because basically, whenever we need to walk without the foot, you cannot. The society will walk, society will move forward because of the strength of Shudras, because of the strength of this working class, that the society will be able to move forward. But if everybody keep involving in move forward, who will going to supervise? Who will going to run the business? Who will going to run the trade and commerce? That is the class of Vaishyas who are involved in trade and commerce. And their thigh need to be very strong because they need to sit in one place and do their work. Like for Kshatriyas, their arms need to be very strong because they need to defend the society. That is symbolically told here that Brahmins are created from the face of Brahma, whereas Kshatriyas are created from the arms, whereas Vaishyas were created from the thigh, and the Shudras are created from the foot. It means basically they together form a society, and all of them are having equal importance. It's over a period of time because of the class culture that people have learned after the invasion by the Western colonial powers. They started saying that one class of people are great and other class of people are inferior to them. This superiority and inferiority is grown out of two reasons. One is the colonial learning, and another is because we give importance to our face compared to our food. That is why the class differences have started appearing. And then let's continue. And from his 2 ears, the sun, and from his ears, I think it is from the two eyes, the sun and the moon are created. And from his ears, the wind and the breath is created. And from his navel came the atmosphere, and from his head, the sky, the earth, and the directions he formed from his feet and other worlds from his ears, and everything else high and low, moving and unmoving, oceans, rivers, mountains, grass, shrubs, and trees. He created all of them. And there is a significance why we are mentioning about specifically particular things are created from eyes or ears. Our eyes are basically the ones which give us the light of the external world, which comes, the light basically comes from the sun and the moon, and that is why they are considered as the Brahma's eyes. And similarly, the the sound doesn't travel through the vacuum, but the present day science know about it. Sound always the s- uh, travel through the air. That is why here it is saying that from his ear came the wind and the breath, and from his navel came the atmosphere, and from his head the sky. The head opens up to the entire sky, whereas the atmosphere, that's the environment. You can feel the environment, the atmosphere of your body at your navel. If your navel is healthy, that means the atmosphere of your entire body is healthy. So it is in that symbolic nature, different parts of the Brahma are responsible for creating different aspects in the whole creation. Then, after a certain number of days had passed, excellent sages, because this story was originally told by Sutaputra, where the story was told by Sutas to the Shaunaka. So, whenever I'm referring to excellent sages, it's a Suta who is referring to those sages. Two huge demons were born from the ears of huge Vishnu who was sleeping. At that time, while Brahma was involved in doing the creation, Vishnu was sleeping, and this sleeping is called as Yoganidra. Means whenever there is no creation existing, Vishnu has nothing to protect. So till that creation is completed, when his duty is supposed to start, till that time he will be in Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra doesn't mean that he is sleeping unconsciously. He is sleeping with it's a conscious sleep where he is relaxing. It's called as Yoga Nidra. It's one of the yoga tantras that people do practice even today. In the triple world, these two were known by the names Madhu and Kaitabha. There were two demons which were created from the Vishnu's uh, ears. They were created and they were called Madhu and Kaitabha. Their faces gaped with teeth, their eyes were reddy brown and their noses were long. Both had huge bodies, immense strength, and were as tall as mountains. Their voices roared like the clouds in the rainy season, and they were terribly arrogant. These two malevolent scoffed at him in many words, and they ridiculed the Shastras, the wise, the sages, gods, and the priests. The earth trembled because of their noise, as did Shesha too. The Shesha who was carrying the earth, he also started trembling because of the noise created by them. And entire creation was terrified by their sound. their eyes red with anger. They began to eat absolutely everyone. This is basically scientifically, if you look at it, whenever we start upon a new project, whenever we are involved in a new creation, I'm talking about new creation being done out of creativity. At very that time, it is because we hear lot many things from the others, because of our ears which are open to many kind of comments, and these comments will raise several doubts in our mind, and that's more than enough to spoil our new creation or a new project. And that symbolically it is told here, Madhu and Kaitabha were born out of Vishnu's ear, and they going to eat Brahma, and they started creating a new obstacle for him, and they started talking, they started ridiculing the Shastras, and that's what happens in the beginning of every new creation. Then, in order to awaken, but at that time, Vishnu was in deep Yoganidra. He was sleeping consciously. So, in order to awaken Vishnu for the destruction of Madhu and Kaitabha, the lotus seated Brahma eulogized the boon giving goddess sleep, the goddess sleep who was responsible for sleeping of Vishnu. So, he started eulogizing goddess Sleep, who had gone into Vishnu's eyes and was the cause of Vishnu's stupefaction. That means the Yoganidra. Having a duly considered and then correctly realized that these two would be killed by Vishnu's hand due to Gajanana's favor. Because even for those two demons to be created, whether it is the god or the Satan, both are the different forms of the same god, as according to Indian philosophy. So, in order to, they are created at the bless of Gajanana, and they can be killed only by the bless of the same Gajanana, but at the hands of Vishnu. So, he became, that means the Brahma was filled with both delight and anxiety. Brahma said, "You take the form of the Swaha and the Swadha, you are immortal. Your form is the sound of short syllable and half a short syllable." This he is praising the Maya. He is praising the goddess sleep, who originally was the Prakriti form, the form of nature, who is the core of all women being created in this world. She is the Shakti, and sleep goddess is also part of that same sleep, part of the same goddess. So he is praising her. Your form is the sound of the short syllable and half a short syllable. You are the creator, destroyer, and mother of people. You alone are the power of what exists and what does not exist. You are the revealed text, accent, and destructive night. You are without beginning or end. You are the night. You are the mother of the universe, the ordainer of the universe, the cause of creation, destruction, and stability. There may be some confusion at this particular point. In the past, even for Gajanana, we told the same words as Gajanana as supreme deity. But now, the Shakti, we are praising Shakti as a supreme deity. The Shakti and the Purusha. Here it is Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is the form with which the existence is supposed to start creating, and actual creation is done by Prakriti. And who are this Purusha and Prakriti? This Purusha and Prakriti, they are the visible forms of the Paratpara, Parabrahma, the supreme deity. And for our meditation purpose, we imagine that supreme deity in the form of Gajanana. And that same supreme deity, when creation is to be started, when the very beginning of the creation, he takes the form of Prakriti. And with the help of Prakriti as the material, the Chaturmukha Brahma, the creator, will start doing all the creation, because even for him to create, he need a matter, and that matter is the Prakriti. In the same sense that today It is the women who give birth in all species. It is the women who give birth to the new species. So, in the same fashion, the whole existence was created from the womb of the great mother goddess, and from whom even the sleep appeared as one of the Shakti. And it is that mother goddess whom we are referring here as Shakti, as Prakriti. So let's continue. And you are the Savitri, was the twilight, the great illusion, the hunger, thirst, everything that happens within us, the knowledge we have, and the illusions that we get, the hunger we get, thirst we get, is all different forms of the same Shakti. These are the different forms of energy that's happening in our body. And these were all originally originated from the same mother goddess who is the supreme form of Shakti and the form of Parabrahma whom we are meditating in the form of Ganesha. She is the Shakti form of her, form of him. Of everything, you are the essence and you are the power in beings, O Parvati. And here is Hari, the creator of the triple world, the three worlds, the Sargaloka and the Martyaloka in which we are living, the Sargaloka which is above us, and then the Patalaloka which is assumed to be below us. So he is the creator of the triple world, your Lord, the crusher of Daityas, the one who killed demons and Dhanavas, whose mind is filled with sleep. You filled him with sleep, and he is deep in sleep. Yet who still possesses discursive and intuitive knowledge. He creates, protects, and destroys this universe. At, at critical moments in his incarnations, you have guided him. It is the mother goddess who will guide him. Because the Parabrahma, the supreme deity, just exists in the whole world. And that same supreme deity in the form of mother goddess will guide the Vishnu. And there is absolutely no difference between the supreme deity Gajanana or the one who will going to create the world, the Chaturmukha Brahma, and the one who maintains the world, Vishnu, and the Prakriti, the mother goddess. There is no difference between them. These are just different forms of the same single God. For the sake of the Leela, for the sake of running the world, it's the same supreme deity, the Parabrahma, takes different forms. That is why the same qualities were told to all these people, that they all create, maintain, and destroy the world. You must delude from both of these evil daityas, Madhu and Kaitabha, and then, because they are so dangerous, give him the knowledge to kill them. That you need to wake up Vishnu and then give him the knowledge to kill these two daityas, demons. In a previous birth, they propitiated me tirelessly for a boon, and so I gave them the boons of many times. It's the Brahma's mistake. When they were first created in the beginning, they meditated upon this same Brahma, and Brahma gave them the lot of boons that they cannot be killed so easily. And so I gave them boons of many types. It is because of me that they are both inviolable. Since then, I have endured their loud and soft words, and they are wanting to kill me. They have chanted with many kinds of hymns. Also, because they are evil, they have never stopped striking me. Therefore, I am propitiating you to the Mother Goddess. O Goddess, please wake up Vishnu to do this. Because here, if you observe scientifically, Brahma is a creator. He is the source of all the knowledge. He has the knowledge. The one who has the knowledge not necessarily be able to protect himself. For the protection, he depends upon Vishnu. The Vishnu is supposed to wake up and protect Brahma, the one who possesses all the knowledge. And for that Vishnu to kill the demons, he needs the power, the energy that comes from the mother goddess. So that is how exactly the whole world works. We cannot see. It's an illusion to say that in the world, everybody is equal. Everybody cannot be equal. Everybody has their excellence in one way or the other. Somebody excel in knowledge, somebody excel in protecting others, somebody excel in having the power, somebody excel in doing some great craft work or some such kind of a real good skill so that they can offer services to the society. Thus ends the 16th chapter of Upasana Khanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana, in which the Brahma saw the problem with the help of within the form of Madhu and Kaitabha. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.